Hi Chris, it's nice to meet you here in Monte Carlo.
Nice to meet you.
I've seen that you're a member of the tournament staff.
Yes.
What was the reason for it?
Well, you know, there's been quite a substantial change to the tournament structure this year, and people that are involved now, they're all involved in backgammon, and they needed some of the staff to be Europeans. And I was one of their choices.
Okay. You have a very good reputation with the gammon scene. Maybe a few people still don't know you, so just tell a few words about you. You lived in Denmark for a long time?
Yeah, I lived in Denmark for nearly 30 years. I started the Danish Backgammon Federation up, ran it until '98, and since then I've lived in Denmark for 6 more years, moved back to England in 2005. And now, most of the time, I just play backgammon. Travel to tournaments and have my backgammon shop.
So that's what you're doing for your life?
That's
backgammon shop and playing backgammon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just mentioned that a lot of things have changed this year. What exactly?
Well, the structure of the tournament, I think it's much more backgammon orientated. In particular, the structure around the progressive consolations and the progressive last chance, which means that everybody is going to play 4 matches, as it used to be in the past. If you got to the last 8 and lost in the last 8, you went directly into the last chance, losing out on the consolation. And I think, you know, the progressive consolation is much better for all backgammon players. Apart from that, there's no jackpots, but instead they've been replaced by a blitz, which is like a mini jackpot or a satellite, and if you win your mini jackpot, you get some of the money back, and the remainder goes in to the playoff of all the mini jackpot winners. So all in all, I think that the new format is going to appeal much more to backgammon players. I know that there are some players that are going to miss the tennis and the golf, but it did also, because that used to run on the Wednesday, it took up a whole day of the backgammon tournament, and a lot of backgammon players, they came to play backgammon, and that's what they want to do whilst they're here, and they want to play backgammon for a whole week. And now the opportunity is here to play backgammon for the whole week. The doubles tournament as well, where you can just register at any time during the week, so the whole structure is more flexible, more suitable for backgammon players to play backgammon when it suits them, as opposed to the more strict time settings that we used to have in the old format.
A lot of tournaments use clocks nowadays. Monte Carlo is one of the few tournaments that still refrains from working with clocks, playing with clocks.
Yeah. I myself prefer playing with clocks. I know there are players that don't, and perhaps sometime in the future I think Monte Carlo will also follow suit. But again, because there is a whole week to finish the tournament, and the time pressure isn't there in the same way that it is for weekend tournaments, the need for using a clock isn't as important. And if it actually meant that there would be players that didn't come because they were forced to use a clock, then I think that would be a shame. So perhaps Monte Carlo maybe should wait a few years before the use of clocks has spread.
Yeah, I didn't think about straight scheduling when I asked you regarding the clocks. I thought it's part of the skill of the game now, because when you play under time pressure,
Well,
or what some people might think it's time
yeah.
pressure.
I think, again, it's like different tournaments have different times, or the amount of time that you used. I mean, just recently I was at one tournament and I had a great tournament. I thought it was called a blitz. 5-point match, 2 minutes a match, 10 seconds a move. And it's just like, I mean, it's so fast. You don't have time. You shouldn't waste time doing a pip count, basically. You don't have time to do a pip count. So you say, well, I really enjoyed that.